Good morning.
Good morning, Steve.
So here's the front door of the Notre Dame, and this is what it's like when we come in every day. And you can see my reflection in the glass. This is the lobby. It's a very nice lobby. Our Lady of Guadalupe there. And then the dining room. Everybody's already out, but I'll just give you an idea of what they see every morning. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning.
I have some text messages for you. And you can see there's lots of nice cheeses and meats and yogurts and fruit, oatmeal and eggs and sausages and breads, fruit and honey and milk and cereals and juices. So it's a very nice place. There's the eastern wall with the golden gate in it behind the tree. We're on our way to Mass at the Garden of Gethsemane. It is Palm Sunday today. And there is the Church of Agony right there where we're going to have Mass. There's Assam, our faithful driver. And Amir, the wonderful guide. And everybody full of anticipation for a great day on the Mount of Olives and Mount Zion. We have arrived. This is the Garden of Gethsemane. These trees, this one for example, and this one have been here for over 2,000 years. If they had ears and a mouth, they could tell you what they heard and saw that night that Jesus was in agony here. We're going inside the church where the rock is that Jesus prayed. And sweat drops of blood, and we're going to have Mass there. And here's our group. Amir is giving them an introduction to the site. So you got any good words for folks this morning, Father?
Dolce Gabbana.
What does that mean?
It's Amir's expression for how he talks.
Having a good time?
Sweetness. With special sweetness.
Having a good time so far?
I'm having a great time.
Good. It's great having you with us too.
Yeah, I've been using this as a retreat for me, and just gosh, Steve, your talks and Amir's talks have just been make the scriptures come alive and revive, the priestly heart. So
some of them, as we came into the Garden of Gethsemane, we pointed. There's at least 6 trees in that garden that are 2,000 years old and above. And when in Galilee, I told you at the Church of the Multiplication, when we stood in the atrium of the church, and I said, this is an olive tree, and I spoke about the symbolism of the olive tree. I said it represents the Christian presence in the Holy Land. Olive trees do not die. You remember me talking about this? Well, here's a good example of what I was talking about. Olive trees do not die. They stay forever, unless you really make the effort to destroy them. But normally they keep growing. You cut them, they grow again, and you prune them, and they give you excellent food every year. That's what they olive oil, and that's what we found in this area. A lot of olive presses. It was an open garden. I just pointed to the Golden Gate, which was a popular gate that Jesus used at the time. It is blocked today because
It was called the scapegoat, and the high priest would lay his hands on the goat, and he would confess on the goat all the sins of Israel, and then the goat would go out into the wilderness to die. The goat was not a sinner, but he was a sin bearer. He bore the sins, and he paid the penalty and died. And this is what Jesus did. It says in 2 Corinthians, he who knew no sin became sin for us. Remember when Jesus in John chapter 3 says, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son. The verse before that says, as Moses and the children were in the wilderness of Sinai, and they were sinning, and Moses raised up the serpent upon a pole, so must the Son of Man be raised up. When in the wilderness you're being bit by the serpent, which represents the devil and sin, right? You're being bit by this, and the people were desperate. They were dying because of sin and the bite of the serpent. They had to look up at this pole that had a serpent on it, and they would be saved by looking at a serpent. Why not a lamb? Why didn't God say make a lamb and put it on the pole? Wouldn't it have been much more appropriate? Jesus is the Lamb of God, the pure one, sinless, there dying on the cross for us. But it's a serpent, and I think it's because at that moment he became the serpent in a sense. He took all the poison of the devil. He took all the bite of the viper, and all of that went right into his bloodstream. And he who knew no sin at that moment became sin for us and died and bore it and killed it on the cross. I just love that illustration. And I thought to myself, why a serpent? Now I know why it's a serpent.
Get up, let us be on our way, for behold, my betrayer is here. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
We're now at the Western Wall, the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem. Look how high it is. These are our guys here praying at the wall. And here's some of the Jews that are here praying. Reading the Hebrew Scriptures. Scriptures in Hebrew.